No.
Can that be the
Oh,
cold?
was it?
That's
That's
pathetic.
poor. That's
Sorry.
the cold open.
Hello, I'm Alex.
I'm James.
And I'm Dan.
We're the Ragamuffins, and this is episode 52 of the Ragamuffin Music Podcast. It's a place for us to talk about the music that we love.
Yes, it certainly is. This month, we're reviewing a lot of new singles. We've got Tala, Linkin Park, Sleep Token, Split Chain, and more.
And we'll be talking about bands versus fans.
No messing around, let's get right into the latest releases.
So first off, one that I reckon you two are very excited by. We've got Face by Static Dress. Seem to have a bit of a thing they're doing with their releases. Maybe not releasing them on Spotify straight away from what I've seen.
Yeah, they seem to be going for, well, basically YouTube and other platforms first and Spotify second. When they were asked online why, they simply replied with a picture of Ollie's Death to the Overground t-shirt, which says, I think, all needs to be said about why they're doing it. But this was very cool. First of all, music videos are the absolute best way to, for me at least, to consume new music. And I think Static Dress always have put not even 100% effort in, but like 1,000%, regardless of like their budget. You can tell from like as far back as like the first video for Clean, like even if it's made in like one room with like bare bones equipment, they've still managed to put like the art is at the forefront of what they do.
Yeah, and a lot of that's like the outfits,
Mhm.
the energy of the performance in the video,
Yeah,
like the colours.
it feels
There's a lot going on.
so well curated, and I think this video is just another example of that. Fucking just a banger. Really cool to introduce a new member as well in the form of a second guitar player. The song itself is just a post-hardcore, like modern instant classic. I think. Like, I think the thing that I've always found with Static Dress is like sometimes I struggle with the balance of the chaos and the like more straightforward approach they sometimes have with some of their songs. And I feel like they work best when those elements blend seamlessly, which they do on this song. Like, the chorus is massive, but the verses kind of go all over the place. I think it's fucking sick.
Yeah, I agree with you on sometimes finding them harder to listen to. Not in the sense that I don't enjoy the music, but there was a period, probably around 2023, where we saw them at basically every festival. Like, it felt like seeing them supporting every band at every gig we went to, and I was loving them, but I couldn't really like sing along to the words or anything. I wasn't really like pulled in. Again, loving every time we saw them, but I think it's songs like this and songs like Sweet that they've done in the past where they chuck a catchy chorus or an insane hook in there that literally hooks you in and gives me that like bit more familiarity with the songs. And it gets me listening to the other stuff over and over again and getting a bit more familiar with it. But yeah, this song in particular, it's got a catchy chorus. It's got great hooks. The breakdown's fucking insane. The guitar tone is brilliant. Sam's drumming is just perfect.
Yeah.
Everything that Static Dress have done in the past kind of feels like it's united into the best it can be on this song. And I love it a lot. And I just feel like, I've said this before, but I feel like they're on the brink of doing something that's just going to like completely skyrocket them.
Yeah.
Like they've supported Bring With Horizon last year. Yeah, it just feels like they just need one viral moment, and it does feel like they're pushing for it, and they're an interesting enough band to do cool stuff with their marketing and their appearance and things. And I genuinely think they're on the brink of just having one viral moment or the right person discovering them and promoting them, and they're going to be huge, I think.
Yeah, I think they've got potential to steal the weekend at Download. Opening main stage on the Saturday should be fucking massive for them. So, very excited.
I'm going to make a beautiful transition here to the next one, because you talked about catchy hooks, big choruses, and that's what's really sold Bored, Tired and Torn from Split Chain for me. This is the point where I'm like, I'm in. I'm on the train here. Let's go full steam ahead, because the way that this is written is exactly but it's so catchy. You see the song title, you can hear the melody coming through with the chorus, and the way that this is crafted, and kind of when we spoke to them at Burn It Down, they were talking about new music and album in the works. This has now got me very excited, because this to me is a development in their sound in particular, especially with the songwriting. The stuff before was good. It wasn't grabbing me wholly. I was enjoying it, but this has really, to me, shown an elevation in their musicality, and I love it.
Yeah, I think you're bang on. Like, they are one of those bands that to me is sort of like again, like with Static Dress, just like effortlessly cool. Like, they've already got, from being really a new band, like their visual presentation's already like so well defined, and all the music they've released so far has been really cool. But I feel like, this is I think the one where it's really been like, this is a fucking like massive banger, and could really like, this is the one that I think is going to bring a lot of people in, and then by getting in through this song, you'll just get hooked into the rest of what
100%. It does feel like it keeps that sound that they've already been curating and already been working on, but gives it that chorus and that hook that makes it so much more accessible. Which, as Alex said, will be a great tool to bring people in and get them listening to their other stuff. And of course, the album's now announced. I can't remember the release date off the top of my head, but Split Chain debut full album coming soon.
Fuck yeah.
I've been very impressed with their social media game as well.
Yeah.
So we've got another single from 1056. We've got Pig. Now, they have been my jam for the past few months at this point, especially after seeing that set of Burn It Down. It was incredible. And for me, every single that's coming out with this album is just making me more and more excited. And the key point in this song in particular that I've really paid attention to is actually the lyrical content that Aaron's put into it. They've always been a band that have been very honest through the lyrics. He's always talked about his mental health, his addiction in the past, very raw, emotive kind of content within the lyrics. But this in particular, it feels like he's kind of getting a lot of weight off his chest, seemingly about his past and childhood and family and things like that. And to me, just the rawness of that with his vocal style in particular and the 1056 sound has made this a very special song. I think what they're doing is something where you can't really compare them to a lot of bands. I think there's a lot of similar ones you can pull, like maybe a Loathe, where you have a certain kind of overarching sound that you get with their music and like an ambience behind the instrumentals. But I couldn't really say that that's too similar to something like 1056. I think they're doing something incredibly unique in their blend that kind of delves between metalcore, hardcore, probably even parts of deathcore as well. And it's something that I am really at the minute finding extremely exciting, because I think they're incredibly unique, and I can't wait for the show at the Dome. I'm going to front flip off that stage.
You heard it here first. Watch out if you're at the Dome.
Happy me.
Something that I picked up on in this song, which kind of amused me, like sometimes I'll hear something and immediately like just come up with a metaphor, like a simile, like something it sounds like. There's a bit during the breakdown where whatever cymbal they're hitting, for some reason to me it sounds like they're like hitting a chain link fence with a baseball bat, and I just think that's a really cool like cymbal sound.
It's definitely a song I'd say as well, and with them in general, their production, that it's best listened to on headphones.
Sure.
I think listening to it out loud, listening to it on a really good speaker is cool, but I think if you've got good headphones, it just elevates everything with this band. I'm sold. I can't wait for more from them. Yeah. Happy me.
We finally have new music from Tala with the single What We Know. And what I know is that this is interesting. But what I don't know is what you guys think of it.
I love it, to be honest. To me, there's nostalgia within the song of the new metal I grew up on. I think it's been interesting learning that the band have actually tried pushing Max away from drums and to kind of permanently do bass. And so he's tracked all the bass on the album, but there's apparently very few select songs, including this, that he has drummed for which there's a Drumeo video out of him playing through it, which is very cool. But in particular with him now really focusing on the bass side of it, for me, there's such comparisons with Fieldy from Korn It's extremely percussive and cuts like right down the middle of the mix. Just giving that really strong new metal nostalgia to this band that obviously pay homage to a lot of those bands they grew up on. I think some of the DJ work was extremely reminiscent of things from like early Slipknot as well. And so for me, it's very much already becoming a new metal classic for the modern era. You're really getting something here which is it's elevating the Tala sound in a way. I think they're saying that this is like the truest Tala that we've had so far, and to have the influences they have, the musicality of it, and to push forward with something, it just shows, I think, everyone's talents on full display. We've got 2 great guitar solos. We've got talent. Yeah, I like that. That's very good.
I didn't. I hated it.
You've done better. I think we
better.
can all agree you've done better, but that we'll take it.
Thank you.
But you're getting everyone kind of firing on all cylinders with this as well. Like Justin, once again, just proving, I feel like every release when Tala come up with something, it's like he is one of the most diverse vocalists and can do so many different things. And it's that constant reminder you get of what the skill level in this band is. I'm very excited for the album. I think it's September 5th, and it's Primeval Obsession Detachment. As always with Tala, there's going to be a fun concept, which is set in space.
I liked the video game they did last time.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued.
I think this is like set like on a planet, and it has a nurse and an assassin as the main focal characters. And apparently everything throughout the album, musically wise, is tracked in a live room with no click. And Justin did every song in one take.
Wow.
I'm excited. So that's what I know.
Well, I think this is a great song, and I do enjoy it, but I can't help but feel that Tala have pulled a few punches here. It just feels a bit... It's great, but it just feels a bit simplified compared to what I'm used to hearing from them in the past.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds... Again, it's a great new metal song, but it just sounds like a corn song to me. I feel like they've done a lot better in the past. Maybe they'll do better in the future. Oh. Again, maybe this is just like what Split Chain have done, deliberate or not. It's a more like simplified song with a clear chorus and kind of songwriting structure to kind of bring people in. But it's good. I just feel like they've done better. It's not got the craziness that I expect from Tala, apart from
the unhinged.
Bonk. I like the little bonk. I had to rewind when I first heard that. I was like, was that in the song, or was that like from the TV or something?
There's a few little things throughout the track where I'm like, hang on, is that an extra sound effect they've added? There's like little subtle things that are in there.
Yeah, good though. Literally about an hour or so before we've recorded, Turnstile have dropped a new track. They've announced a new album out on, is it the 9th of June or the 6th of June? Whatever the first Friday in June is, it's out then.
One of them.
Yeah, I've forgotten the name of the song though.
Never Enough.
Never Enough. Also the album title.
Yes.
Alex.
Done.
What do you think of this song?
It's interesting. I think it's definitely feels like... Makes it pretty clear that the direction that they took on Glow On is continuing, which might be to the disappointment of older fans. But, I mean, Glow On was a massive album that brought in so many new fans, so I'm sure they'll be all right. I think it's fine. I think it definitely sounds like... Kind of sounds like Mystery 2.0 to a degree.
I did think that with the riff.
Yeah.
Not much variation in the chord progression compared to Mystery.
I think it's tricky. Like, Glow On did have a very sort of defined sound, but it still managed to feel still quite varied and expansive within, like, I guess, the walls that they defined for that album of, like, this is how it's going to be. Whereas with this one, I feel like, I don't know, it takes all of the kind of safe bits from Glow On and doesn't really push it any further. I think this will probably feel a lot better when it's within the context of the album, especially with what follows on from it, because it feels like
that bit at the
end, the outro kind of leads into something.
Yeah.
Much in the way that Mystery sort of ends with the floaty kind of melodies into, and then Blackout sort of like punches you in the face. I think we're probably going to get something similar on the new album. With that being said, I mean, I listened to it as I walked over here. The sun's shining, the weather's nice, you know, barely a cloud in the sky. And I thought, do you know what? If we're having a turnstile summer, that's fine by me. So maybe it's all right.
TLC summer.
I can understand why people are unhappy online though. If you're like a fan of like, you know, the first EP,
Yeah.
and then playing basement shows to 20 people. Oh, why don't they play that again? Who cares?
That's not going to happen.
Let them put out. I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Let artists do what
They're
artists
not a
want to
hardcore
do.
band anymore. And also, with that even being said, hardcore's a state of mind. So, actually, they are a hardcore band. I take that back. They're still a hardcore band. Just because you're not two-step into it doesn't mean it's not hardcore.
I reckon you can two-step to this, though.
Yeah, should we try at the end? We'll see.
Yeah,
Put
we'll
it
do
back on and we'll see if
Do
we
you
can
reckon
do it.
just to push that tangent further, could you two-step to anything? Could you two-step to some jazz? I
Good
feel
question.
like if there's a will, there's a way.
Two-step or not two-step? That is the question.
Brilliant.
Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it. It does feel like, with everything we've seen about the album so far, with the artwork and hearing this song, it does feel like we're pretty much set up for a Glow On Part 2, which I'm absolutely on board with. It was such a monumental and iconic album for the whole scene. I wouldn't mind just having
More of
basically
that.
a second Glow On.
Glow
So,
on and on.
Glow On, King. No, this song does feel like it would fit on Glow On, but at the same time, it does feel like they've expanded on maybe the kind of atmospheric side of it a bit more. It does feel like there's a lot more space in there, which has been left deliberately. Yeah, I think it's just a really cool song. I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah. I think Glow On works in balance. I think that was the point I was trying to get to. That's an album of balance because you get a lot of the like more spaced out, floatier shit
Yeah.
is really well balanced by songs like Blackout and TLC that are a bit harder.
But as we've addressed, there's almost this cliffhanger at the end of this
Yeah,
track, which sounds like it's going to bleed into a bit of a two-steppy, faster track to follow it. Pre-order now from truckmusic.store.
We have, I'm going to be honest straight from the bat, a really poor name for a song in my opinion, Caramel.
Nah.
I'm not a fan
I
of the
think
name.
now I've heard it, I think it suits it pretty well. Silky smooth.
Well, go on then. Continue with your thoughts on Caramel.
I think this is a banger, is the conclusion I've come to. It has taken me a lot of listens since it got released to figure out what I think about it. I mean, we're going to talk about this later on, so I won't go too deep into the lyrical content of this. But if you feel offended by this song as a fan, then you should be, basically. But I think
The song's about you, not for you.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what people are shocked by. They've been fusing genres for the longest time. I know that Eden was like the breakout album, but you could argue that they've been doing stuff like that from day one.
Yeah.
So the fact that the front half of this song is what it is shouldn't be, I don't think, a shock to people. I like that this one's a bit jarring. Whereas, because I feel like a lot of their songs that do this kind of thing maybe are a bit more seamless in the way that they transition, whereas this one feels a bit more like... It's almost like the more he's talking about what he's talking about, the more he kind of goes, actually, do you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah, that's
And
exactly
I'm gonna
what I was
just
about to
snap
say.
now.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's pretty well represented in like how the instrumentation develops.
Yeah, I think obviously other bands do this as well. Like Sleep Token haven't invented music. I mean, to some people they have.
Yeah, some
but,
people, some people might.
But like the way that they carry a message to their music, not just through the lyrical content, but through like the mood and the atmosphere of the music, and through like symbolism as well. Like if you hark back to when they were starting to like tease and promote this album with the website URL showmehowtodanceforever.com, that's now making sense with kind of like the lyrical content in this song, plus what few people have picked up on with like the music at the start almost, and like the music carrying through almost sounds like a bit like a music box. Like you've opened up this box and Vessel's like forced to dance for you. The stage is a prison. And like, if I think back to Emergence as well, although I like that song, it didn't really shock me. It's the first time I've listened to like a new era of Sleep Token and not been like, oh wow, they're doing this. This is great. This is so different. Whereas on Caramel, I'm getting that like reggaeton beat,
Mm.
transitioning into rapping, and I think this is like the best lyrical flow that Vessel has had on a song that he's rapped on so far. And then again breaking into that breakdown at the end, and the first lyric that you hear after the breakdown being "Tell me, did I give you what you came for?" Almost like a fuck you to the people that are like, "Oh, it's not metal, it's not heavy enough. I want to break down." And as you said, Alex, it's almost like he's kind of tiptoeing through the song and then gets to like a, you know what, yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
Very much
I'm not
similar
happy anymore.
to like Seeing Red.
Yeah,
Like
it's
Architects,
exactly
there's a
like
lot
that,
of comparisons you can make with those. Before I kind of get into my opinion a bit, I can't remember it's exactly you said to me the other day when we were having a bit of a discussion about it, and like lyrical content and the fact that so much I think of their lyrics before are very much like law based.
Yeah.
And very like mysterious and kind of thing, and this one being something so very different from what we're used to in terms of from Sleep Token.
I guess, but I've actually been thinking about that a bit more, and I think that I don't know if that's maybe just something that we've almost like conditioned ourselves to think. My point being is like I think that actually a lot of it has been a lot more personal than like people.
Yeah,
I think because there's like the law and stuff.
Yeah.
People sort of, it's easier to be like, oh well, he's kind of maybe not singing about himself because he's built up a bit of law.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and I mean it's easily done, do get like caught up in this lore, because there is like a lot to go through. Like there's loads of spin-offs as well with like the graphic novel and things now as well. But at the end of the day, it's all just one big metaphor. That's what people seem to forget.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It's grown on me with more listens, but it's not like blowing me away still or anything. I don't feel like I have personally the excitement for Sleep Token that I used to have with their music. I don't exactly know what that is. I think part of it is something maybe we'll discuss more later when we get to the discussion with it, and like relationships between fans and bands. Because I think there are a few comparisons I can make with that, but I don't know. For me personally, I'm kind of struggle with this a little bit. I do find the lyrical content interesting in terms of what he's talking about and the way he's being very open and phrasing with things to kind of put few bits out there. Things like every time they try and shout my real name just to get a rise from me, acting like I'm never stressed out by the hearsay. I guess that's what I get for trying to hide in the limelight. There's no kind of vagueness to it. The lyrics here are extremely transparent.
Yeah.
In terms of
it's about as on the nose as they've been.
It is, and it's really understanding that. Again, we'll kind of preempting the discussion, but it really is for me the key focal point to talk about this song very much is the lyrics, to be honest, and understanding kind of there are people behind the music. Yeah. And what people do affects them, whether whatever you say. Everyone can have an opinion on things, but then the extent of way some people go into is too much. So I kind of, like I say, just not divulge to what we'll talk about later too much, but I think that is the focal point here. But to me, I'm not really sold on this, I'm afraid. And
just don't need to be scared.
I'm not scared. I'm just sad. To be honest,
I've really got Alex.
I'm just sad, to be honest, because it's not like I've got expectation necessarily on it. Maybe I do, but it's also like there's nothing within the two songs so far with Emergence and Caramel that's making me, for what I like in music, want to go back and listen to them. Sadly.
That's a shame. It's something I will say as well, like that chorus sticks to me like caramel. Like as soon as I hear the word caramel now, I'm like, stick to me.
I'm not joining in.
Yeah, I genuinely I love this song.
And the last of singles, we've got Up From The Bottom from Linkin Park. Now they're releasing a deluxe version of From Zero. 3 new songs, with this one being the main one that's coming out. Before listening to it, I'd read a few things in terms of Joe Hahn saying that he thinks it's the best Linkin Park song they've written, and Mike Shinoda saying it's the best music video they've done. And I think the music video is very cool.
Should we try and name what we think their best song actually is and what our favourite music video is? For fun.
Okay. Best song. I like, my opinion, One Step Closer.
Ooh, damn.
Crawling's my favourite.
Damn. I like Points of Authority.
Best music video.
Best music video. Ooh. I'm going to say the Bleed It Out video. Or One Step Closer, because it's just so 1999.
Mm-hmm.
While James is thinking, I can't recall any music videos by them. So I would say whichever one has Transformers in it.
Fair enough.
What I've done.
Is it?
What
Yeah.
I've done.
That one then.
No, that's what they were in the desert. You're
Is
thinking
it?
of New Divide.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh.
That one then.
I think I'll go One Step Closer again, to be honest.
Yeah, boy. Anyway, carry on.
So yeah, going off of what they'd said from that, I guess I had a lot of expectation going into it. Music video, yeah, great.
It's cool.
It's a solid Linkin Park song. I wouldn't say it's the best song Linkin Park have written and go that far with that kind of thing.
I think the chorus bangs.
The chorus bangs, and as I was kind of talking to you about the other day, and we had a bit of a chat about it, Mike Shinoda knows how to write a bridge.
Yes.
That man is the king of writing bridge sections.
Bridge builder.
I think you said you'd seen something before where I'm just gonna just keep going. You said you've seen something before where he said about he finds it like that's where you're going to pay off the listener.
Yes, he thinks the bridge is the most important part of the song. It's where you get to reward the listener for not sitting through 2 verses and 2 choruses. But do you know what I mean? Like
He's
this
a
is-
reverse troll.
Yeah. It's like this is the part where now something's changes
Gonna be
to
fun.
be more interesting.
The
Yeah.
listener gets to the bridge and he goes, there you go.
But no, I do think this is a good song. I think it's a strong one if you're going to launch essentially like B-sides and deluxe editions of things, and I can see why it wasn't maybe a main song on the album. But I do think it is a very good song nonetheless, and I'm happy with it.
I disagree. I don't view this as like a B-side. I think this is brilliant. I think this is like one of the coolest songs from the album. But that's just my 2 cents.
Cut the Bridge.
Hmm?
The song Cut the Bridge. I think that's the coolest song on the album.
Oh no, the coolest song on the album is Two-Faced.
That's up there as well. That's up there. Any thoughts?
No, nothing to add.
No?
No.
Fair enough.
Again, I've got the chorus in my head,
Mm.
so that's a good sign. Shout out to the new Thornhill album. Really enjoying that. Very genty.
Yeah, and I'll shout out the new Scowl album because it's very cool and very fun.
What is coming out in the next 2 weeks?
I'll tell you when I load the graphic.
Show them the graphic.
Here's what we've got coming up. We have Within Destruction with Anna Metal, Mayday Parade with Sweet, Landmarks, the darkest place I've ever been, who cares, and As It Is with Never Happy Ever After X. Do I need to ask what we're most excited for?
None of them.
None of
Don't
them.
care.
Terrible. We all know it's Landmarks. It's going to be great.
I do think, looking at the roster of guests on that As It Is album as well, I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, I think that's going to be very fun.
I will make full disclaimer that yes, it feels like we've been teasing the Landmarks album for a while because of making the transition to monthly to fortnightly.
What if it's shit?
It won't be shit. Don't even put those words out
Just
there. Dan.
the biggest load of wank you've ever heard.
No.
in your life.
Only the
No.
singles are good.
No, it's going to be fucking incredible.
We'll see about that.
Everything else is French folk.
That'd be pretty cool, actually.
La banjo. It's like I'm just out to get Alex today.
You are. Fucking hell.
The banjo is crazy.
Have we been to any gigs in the past 2 weeks?
Yes,
we have.
We have. Me
Yes.
and Dan have been to the same gig, but not the same gig.
Mm-hmm.
What
Who
the
did
he-
you see?
what could I
Where did you
possibly
go?
mean by
Same
that?
tour, different show.
Same tour, different show. It was Bill Murray, American Motor Tour, Left Lane Lap, whatever the fuck it was called. The European leg of the Bill Murray tour.
Fucking great. I loved
Fucking
it.
brilliant.
Yeah. You forget, like, well, no, you don't forget, but when a band plays a headline set and, like, every song is just, like, banger after banger after banger, like, you think, oh, I might pop to the bar, if the next song's not a banger. It's a banger. I'll pop to the
It's a
toilet.
banger.
I need a wee, I might go to the toilet if the next song's not a banger. It's a banger.
And like the set flew by as well.
Yeah.
So quick. I think they played like maybe 16 songs or something, and it in the blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go?
I went to Bristol, SWX.
Where did you go?
The Institute in Birmingham.
I just thought they were fucking fantastic. I think it's also a testament to how good American Motorsports is as an album, that so much of it was played, including the bonus tracks from the special edition, and not a single one of them like missed or slowed the pace or slowed the energy.
Yeah, I can't speak
It's
for your
all
show,
bangers.
but the crowd in Birmingham was fucking great as well.
Oh yeah, they were fantastic.
Singing
yeah.
every word,
Mm.
like the
Yeah.
bits as well. Just such a fun band, and a
Nice.
really, really good time.
And now it's time to discuss things.
Yes.
In light of the new Sleep Token song Caramel and its lyrical content and clear message being a hey, fuck you to the fans, which I really respect.
Yeah.
Like,
So all fans, fuck off.
all fans, leave me alone. Leave him alone. Leave Britney alone. In light of that, we thought we'd discuss some times where bands have had altercations with their own fan base. And I guess we'll start with Sleep Token because that's the obvious
it's the
and
topic at the
current
moment.
one, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Well, I think a lot of this stems from generally people. Oh God,
It does.
I
You're
don't.
right.
Yeah, I don't want to immediately get big picture, but this is the result of the pandemic, and I'll tell you for why. Because people are getting into music, and particularly alternative music, for the first time when there were no shows, there was no social face-to-face aspect of being a part of a scene or a community or anything like that. Everything was purely online, and so people basically just forgot how to behave socially. I genuinely think that's
we've
where
used the
this
pandemic
is,
as an example and a reason for gig etiquette going out the window as well.
Yeah.
haven't we, in the
Yeah,
past?
true.
And I think this
So-
is extended into essentially like stan culture, because if a band are anonymous, whether or not like, you know, if they turn around tomorrow and say these are our real names, that's on them. But like if they want to present themselves as anonymous and people are going out of their way to find like birth certificates and shit, to the point where bands are like leaving social media like Sleep Token have, or privatizing accounts and things like that. I mean, like we said, the lyrical content of Caramel, I'm sure there's a reference to like not willing to answer his own front door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
it was-
like you people are fucking fucked, basically.
And like the weird thing I think is like, what do you get out of it?
Mm.
Like,
what's the achievement?
You look at any Sleep Token related content online anywhere, and we've had to delete so many comments in the past of people like naming the band members and things. It's not hard. If you want to know the names of the band members, you can literally just Google Sleep Token members and it will come up. So what is the flex of people going into the comments of anything Sleep Token related and just listing the names of the band members? You're not like bragging about anything or flexing anything there. All you're doing is just making yourself look like an entitled prick, basically. Because you're not Sherlock. You've not done any research or anything to find the names. You've literally just Googled them.
They're there with their laptop and a magnifying glass. Just
And by the way, if you don't know their names and you're thinking of going to Google them, you'll get nothing out of it. Like,
you won't know who they
Yeah.
are.
It's not the geezer from Bastille.
no,
It's
not Sam Smith.
Yeah.
It's not Rob Damiani. It's not any of the others that you think it is.
Mm.
It's just Vessel.
So to kind of like tie back to them when doing the Caramel review earlier, the fan base I think has skewed a lot of my opinion and view of Sleep Token because of how some of these people act, and I think there's a couple of bands, and as we'll go through others, there'll be one in particular that I'll mention that people are already probably going to be able to make the comparison to, but where the few of the fan base spoil it for the majority. And the way that people act, and you have like the stan accounts, and particularly on Twitter, X, I think is one of the most prime examples where people are like obsessive and the parasocial kind of relationships they seem to form with these people are, to be upfront, creepy, weird, stalkery, and off-putting. And just kind of seeing that makes me want to disassociate with the fan bases. And that's what's, I think, actually has ruined a lot of Sleep Token. Yeah, there may be parts where I don't enjoy the music, but I have less of the desire to go back and listen to older music now because of it. I'm looking forward to seeing the set at Download, and it's kind of coming from the point, because my relationship, I think, with the music's kind of gone a lot because of this kind of thing, that my main kind of attraction for actually seeing the Download set at the minute is actually the production. And saying that from when you've shown clips from the Wembley show. And that, to me, is quite a weird thing to be able to say from a band that I used to love listening to the point now where I can't go back and revisit the music. I find it difficult to go back and want to listen to it. And to again tie that into another band is very much for me like Bad Omens. The same kind of thing where you've had members leave social media, and the way people are possessive, obsessive with these artists, these musicians who are just trying to create music. And I'd listened to like a few songs of Bad Omens and I was like, okay, there's bits here I can really enjoy. Seeing the fan base has completely made me stop kind of wanting to delve into back catalogue and look into stuff. I had friends kind of play me songs, older songs in particular as well, that I was like, this is cool. But because of kind of the connotations in my head that I've got because of it, it kind of ruins it. And for me, it's just like, I don't want to be associated with that. And is the reasoning why there's a few of these bands in particular, like those two with Sleep Token and Bad Omens, that I just don't, I'm going to stay away. I don't want to be involved in any way, shape or form or be associated by it.
Yeah, I think it becomes more obvious, like, the effect that it has on the band member with Bad Omens as well. Obviously, Sleep Token being kind of anonymous, they can't really just directly speak to the fans. I mean, Caramel is like the most direct way that they're able to communicate like their feelings on it. But like Noah from Bad Omens was literally like needing to take a mental health break and like removing himself from socials and stuff because of the effect that these fans were having on him. And these are fans that are meant to be like, oh, I love this guy. That like I'm a fan of this person, but instead they're like doing borderline psychotic stuff that the band members have literally said, I don't like this. This needs to stop. And then they carry on, and it's I can't imagine what it's like being on the receiving end of like people finding baby photos that even yourself didn't know about. Like,
it's fucked. What
are people getting out of doing that? And again, like even if you do that and then see the impact it has on someone and go, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. I've gone a bit too far there. But they don't. They just seem to just keep carrying on. Maybe some of them aren't true fans. Maybe some of them are trolls. But yeah, it's just not fair to see that kind of effect that fame and popularity has on someone.
Yeah, and I think I've seen a bit online about like people sort of the critique against this Sleep Token song is like, oh, well, you shouldn't be in the public eye if you don't want people to know these kinds of things. And it's like, well, first of all, they're not, because they've tried to remain anonymous. But even if they weren't, if they were a band that just didn't wear masks, you knew who they were, that still doesn't mean that just because you do something outward in like you create art to share with people, doesn't give people a free rein to just like harass you, basically.
It doesn't.
And I think a lot of this kind of just boils down to like parasocial relationships and people sort of getting this like misaligned idea that band members are like their friend.
Yeah,
exactly. And like they're not. They're artists that are giving you something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
But
and fair enough, if you like the bands we're talking about, a lot of their lyrical content is very emotional and probably quite easy to like feel a connection with them through the music. But that's the only way that you've connected with them, really. Like,
you don't know them on a personal level.
No.
You don't know these people. And
unless you've done hours of research into them on a database somewhere and found their birth certificate, then you know them.
You joke, but the thing is, there will be people that have done that.
Well, yeah, that was one of the big Sleep Token things. Was someone published their birth certificates online, which is firstly illegal, and secondly just a massive breach of respect and sanity,
boundaries.
in my opinion.
I think it's the thing that's like shocking to me is that we've got to get to the point where bands have to basically write song. Like, there's no other way for this message to get through than to have to put it in a song, which is something that we saw with Architects with Seeing Red, which was a real like eye opener for me, because it like, even though I wasn't one of the people online that was like, I don't know, giving them like grief all the time for like the way that their sound has developed or whatever, it was the first time that I kind of really saw like really the effect that this is having, that like they feel like they said in the song, like we only have like, they feel to the point where people only like them if they're angry and putting out negative shit into the world.
Yeah, that's another thing actually, is like the entitlement.
Yeah.
Like, if you like something that a band's done, you then, particularly with Architects, there seems to be like this sense of entitlement that if the band changes their sound and you don't like it, it's, oh, well, I hate them now. Like, what the fuck is all this about? Well, this is rubbish. So, well, the band, it's not that they don't owe you anything. Obviously, bands only like get to where they do with the support of their fan base, but like, the band doesn't have to write music for you. Like, they're artists. They're just being creative and doing whatever they want with their music. They don't owe you anything, really. They don't have to write a song just for you. If you don't like it, that's fair enough. Just be grown up and go, oh, that song wasn't for me.
I think there's a big comparison you can make with that, with Architects, and also with like Bring Me the Horizon. Bands should be able to make whatever music they want to make. Like, yes, there is a certain part of it where you're making music for fans and to put out there, but the fans aren't in control. They're not songwriters. The band can write what the band want to write. You don't have to like it. You don't have to enjoy everything an artist puts out. It may not be for you. I remember seeing a lot of discourse from Bring Me when they put Ammo out, and you look at then previous releases, and then they've kind of developed and maybe gone back to a heavier sound in the more recent years and that kind of thing. But there's no point going out there just giving bands shit because you don't like something and making public declarations on this. You don't own the band. You don't own the music. If you don't enjoy it, don't listen to it. It's fine. Listen to other things. Listen to their old music.
There's so many times that we've reviewed something on the podcast and it's been a band that have changed their sound a bit or have experimented with something a bit. And if we don't like it, we'll just say,
not for me.
Hey, that's not for me. I appreciate what they're doing. They're obviously going down this route. It's not particularly my kind of thing, but fair play.
They can do what they want to do.
That's all you need to do, is just be respectful, really. And back to my entitlement point as well, there was, and I guess this maybe ties into Alex's point about the pandemic and people not really knowing how to act or like how things work. But when Sleep Token have been teasing these new singles, they like dropped a single, and there was people saying, I thought they were going to drop the album. Why haven't they released the album? I want the album now. So that's not really how it works. You've got to release singles to promote an album. Like, chill. The album's coming, and it's coming really soon. It's only in May.
2 months.
Yeah.
No, next month at this point.
Just be happy that they've given you this offering of new music. Like, you get what you're given. They don't owe you anything.
I think the thing that worries me is I worry that we're going to start approaching scenarios where bands just start packing it in because it becomes too much. Like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Theorizing that's what Sleep Token are going to do. Like that these songs sound like a
goodbye,
like almost a goodbye. I don't think that is what's going to happen. They've only just signed to us, so yeah, there's probably a multi-album deal. But like, if you revisit Emergence after listening to Caramel, like, what does the word emergence mean? It means to, like, I guess, reveal yourself.
Sleep Token, reveal yourself.
Brilliant. Which I don't think is what they're going to do, but that maybe there is this conflict of them where they're like, you know what, maybe it would be easy if we just put ourselves out there and then called it a day. When this is who we are, and now we're done.
Safe.
But again, that's something that, as Alex was saying, like, this kind of parasocial relationship from fans could drive bands to do. They could go, you know what, it's not for me. I mean, Sleep Token are clearly just some guys that want to make some music. They've been clear from the start that it's about the music and not the people behind the masks. So if it does come to the point where people are making it about them instead of the music, then maybe they get to a point where they're like, well, we're not conveying the message we want to do anymore. So that's it. And again, with Noah from Bad Omens having to take a break and take time out from touring and remove himself from social media, yeah, maybe there does come a point where people go, you know what, yeah, I'm done with it now.
It's not worth it.
So stop being weird is the conclusion.
Yeah. So that's our opinion on some of these bands and the relationships that fans have with them. But let us know down below. We love hearing from people. Is there bands that we haven't mentioned where you've kind of seen this happen as well? What's your opinions on this with Caramel and Sleep Token in particular, with Bad Omens or others we've mentioned? Because it is an interesting topic, I think, and definitely something that needs discussion, and there will be a lot of opinion out there about it, I think.
But I felt like you were about to go. Call us.
Call us. No, we don't have a phone line.
I also feel like with this, I want to stress that we're not saying that bands are like exempt from criticism. Like, if you don't like new music, you can still say. I think the point that we're trying to make is like, stop crossing the line. And if you don't know where the line is, don't say anything at all.
And like in a modern world of social media as well, it's really great that bands are accessible. It's really easy as a fan to interact with bands and band members. But if people just keep crossing that line and like breaking the boundaries and being disrespectful of that connection, then less and less bands are going to kind of give that kind of access to people.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that's a privilege, and you can't keep abusing that privilege just because it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop being weird.
What he said.
If there's one thing we bloody love, it's recommending music. That's why we have Ragamuffin FM, a playlist we update every 2 weeks with 15 of our favourite songs at the moment. But for now, we're going to give a little spotlight to one song each that we bloody love that we think you should check out. My spotlight song is... it's one that you should already know, but it's a banger anyway, so why not shout about it. It is My Way by Limp Bizkit, because it's a massive tune, and I like that we're in an age now where, Limp Bizkit are getting appreciated again.
I want to go with Habitual Decline by like Moss to Flames. I kind of had a playlist after seeing them live last year, and throughout so much new music, forgotten about the playlist, and I revisited it the other day and was like, this is a fucking banger. So listen to it.
I'm going to go for Do It Faster by Military Gun, because it's just such a hype song. With the sunny weather we've been having recently, it's one that I love, just putting on loud in the car with the windows down, the shades on. Oh, you like the
Shades
the
on,
shades?
yeah.
It's
Hell
cool,
yeah.
I'm a shades on kind of guy.
I like that. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's such a hype song, and yeah, I love it with the sunny weather. It just gets me going.
Bang.
And if you listen to it when you go out running or something, then it makes you run faster because you've got someone telling you to do it faster.
Oh, James nearly knocked over his drink.
That's not good.
And
And that's the end of episode 52.
yes, if you want to get your grubby little mitts on any of the music we've talked about or anything that's coming up, truckmusic.store is the place to go.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
It is.
We're not lying. It is the place to go.
Another website to go is ragamuffin666.uk. We have 2 t-shirts up. Go and grab them. They look sick, so you should buy them.
Looks sick in the pit.
Yeah. We also have the Ragamuffin Club. It's our little community. It's free. It's on Facebook. The link is also below. Sometimes, like doing comments in the YouTube section, having back and forth, an actual conversation, it's not very easy. So
Still do comment though.
Still
please.
comment, but we can have bigger discussions. We can talk about things as they happen. We talk about gigs that are coming out. We talk about new songs, albums.
We make memes.
Memes. You're missing out on the memes if you aren't in the Ragamuffin Club. So join that and like the video, comment, subscribe. Festival season is coming. So get excited. Go back and watch vlogs from last year, from 23, from 22 of Download, Slam Dunk, Trees.
I've been watching them a lot.
Burn It Down. I'm forgetting festivals we've
That's
been
fine.
to. There's a lot of festivals we've been to, but get excited. It's round the corner, and I can't wait.
Go and tell your favourite band that you love them, but in a healthy way.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.